What's going on? That's my best Peter McKinnon impression. But what's going on, guys? Sam Canal checking in with you guys. We are still in New York City, currently sitting out parked underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm sure you guys can see that awesome structure. Anyways, so got here on Thursday, came down here, actually the Dumbo building or Dumbo spot. It's literally maybe like a block down the street where a lot of tourists go take pictures or whatnot. So we got in New York on Thursday, walked around with my boy Kofi, walked around New York, took the sighting, Madison Square Garden, and all that fun stuff. Came here early Friday and took some tourist shit and just walk around, took some dope pictures, got some content and whatnot. So the reason why I'm telling you all this is I, soak up the vibe, the New York vibe. Originally I'm from Chicago. I live in St. Louis now, so I have some sort of contrast into big cities, small cities, big cities, and how people move and work. Stay with me here. I'm going somewhere with this. And in New York City, if you follow, a lot of people try to compare New York to Chicago a lot of times. Oh yeah, it's a big city, a lot of people, but obviously Chicago is a lot cleaner than New York. I think we can all agree on that. But the awesome thing that we have in common actually separated us too. Again, cleaner cities, better traffic system. Not gonna knock New York, but after the whole experience this weekend about New Yorkers, I can see how people can get so mad and triggered easily, and people like honking at each other because it's such a busy city. A lot of people just moving and weaving and whatever. Yes, there is a thing called the Midwest, courtesy. The Midwest people that just go around and just like a very nice, excuse me, pardon me, when people weaving through traffic. There's nothing like that in New York. Everybody just keep going and keep moving, and that can be very frustrating. And to the point where I understand why New Yorkers like, hey, what are you doing? Get out of here. Everybody's honking at you. Nobody, for the lack of a better term, gives a F word. And what I keep thinking about that is, in the midst of all this, things you might not like about New York, I can appreciate New York. I can appreciate New York because there is no faking it. You cannot fake it out here because literally, we parked in the middle. We were waiting for a cab. Kofi and I were waiting for a cab in the middle of New York, and there was a guy literally pull up to the street, unwinding his food truck just to hook that thing up and drive out of there. You can see people hustling. People going somewhere because they hustling to get to somewhere, point A to point B. They're just going up. Literally up and down. It took me a minute. I just sat back and looked and just people watch and looked at everyone. Somebody has got an intent going somewhere with there is a mission in people's steps in New York. So as much I can say, oh yeah, New Yorkers are very rude or whatever, but I think I can appreciate that hustle though. They have that. And what I kept thinking about, I've talked to my boy Teddy, he's a native New Yorker. I talked to my boy Chris Barkat, native New Yorker. And I think one thing you can appreciate about New York is you can't fake it. You can't fake being a New Yorker. You can't fake the hard work that you see in New York. Not to throw people in California under the bus here, but I think in Cali, you can see where they might be a little bit pretentious, a little bit. You can maybe fake it oh yeah, I'm here to chase the Hollywood dream or whatever. But I feel like In New York, you cannot see that. And what I'm trying to get out of this video is you fall into a lot of spots where in life where you're gonna see a lot of pretenders and a lot of just doers, and the environment that you surround yourself in tend to dictate that, or tend to mold how you perceive a lot of things. And I feel like the reason why New Yorkers are built this way is just the environment, everybody just hustling to go places and go somewhere, and that is very infectious to a lot of people, because somebody's in a hurry to go somewhere, somebody's also in a hurry to go somewhere, somebody's in a hurry to get something done, point upon B, somebody's hustling, everybody's moving, it's a moving city. That is very infectious. That's how the people of New York sort of gather this sort of attitude of go-getters, or hustling and bustling or whatever. So I can appreciate that, and I cannot help but just to relate that into things that I do, or things that I do in my personal life, or maybe you do in your personal life too. And I think the moral of the story is surround yourself, being in an environment that's very infectious, being in an environment that's very supportive of what you're trying to do with your life. And I think that's very important. And I think November's over. Again, I'm still processing the whole weekend, and one thing I can definitely appreciate that I have in my life is I surround myself with people that are very supportive, an environment that's very supportive of me being a hard worker, an environment of people, of community, people that are very goal-oriented, they chase after it, and watching them go after it makes me want to go after it. So my encouragement to you in this short video, I hope, after all the cool B-roll that you guys saw, is to support yourself, and by surrounding yourself with people that are going somewhere, the people that wants to achieve something, the people that are, they have a mission. They're just not going through life, just casually. There's nothing wrong with being casual, but at the same time, can relax from time to time, but have a goal, have a purpose. And yeah, I might be just fired up from all the, the hype from the show over the weekend. It doesn't matter. I just feel I need to pour that sort of vibe out there for you guys to see. And hopefully you enjoy this video. I'm trying to pull this up as soon as possible. If you like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and have a terrific week. Peace.